1, 2, 3.
Mama, show me how to get that down. You only live once. Move your body to the rhythm now. You only live once. I said, YOLO. You only live once. The life we live in right now, you should understand you only live once. My mama be pissing. We call this YOLO. You only live once. We call it YOLO.
YOLO.
You only live once.
YOLO.
You only live once.
YMK.
You must know.
Healthy young people.
Better future.
If you're feeling the atmosphere, put your hands together and let's enjoy. Okay. Welcome to the YOLO YMK Chit Chat, where we talk about adolescent health and sexual reproductive issues. If this is the first time you're watching, the other time we talked about peer pressure, and that's where we found Droga being the really bad naughty boy. This time around, we're going to look at the parents and their relationship with their teens or the adolescents and how they're able to talk to them or interact with their sexual health issues, whether it is the mothers against or the parents against the adolescents or the adolescents against the mothers. Who hasn't been able to open up? YOLO.
You only live once.
YOLO.
You only live once.
Healthy young people.
Better future.
Healthy young people.
Better future.
All right, so this is the YOLO YMK Chit Chat. Stick and stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
You only live your life just once, my party. Or so I'm told. Make the most out.
Everything side A, they go to B.
Black chance.
Say my name again.
Head back, laugh the pain away. Living a better life is the case. You go be handle whatever may come your way.
Hey! What is that? Read it. Come on.
Read it.
My heart missed the beat when I first saw you.
Why do you have that picture on your phone?
Yeah, come in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Charles.
Hello?
Hello. Please, I'm looking for Cyril.
I forget the rap song.
I'm working for.
And you're welcome to the YOLO YMK Chit Chat, brought to us kind courtesy Ghana Health Service in partnership with Ghana Education Service and of course National Population Council with funding from UK Aid facilitated by Palladium. And we want to thank all of them, of course, for bringing us here. Let's put our hands together for them. Give a YOLO appreciation. Before I take a few questions from our healthy young people in the studio this morning, let us quickly introduce to you who will be helping us on our Chit Chat segment in the person of Dr. Nana Amabans. She is a lecturer at the University of Cape Coast School of Medical Science and Executive Director of Diabetes Youth Care. Let's give her a YOLO welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome and good to have you.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure to be here. YOLO with young people. Let's see who's changed his or her mind about their favorite characters in the YOLO series so far. The other day, Cyril seemed to have had a lot of attention. Are the girls shifting their likes to someone else?
My favorite character is Drogba.
Tell us why.
Yeah, he has this swaggish kind of style.
Hey, swaggish.
And that's what I like about him.
How about the things he does?
What he does, it's not good. What he has not been doing.
Somebody says it's normal. I beg your pardon. Tell me what is normal. I want to know. You said, I heard you say it's normal. What's normal?
It is normal because nowadays in life, we have people that influence us a lot. So it's part of life. So whenever you see people like that, you're not supposed to judge them. That's how they've lived. And that's what they know. You are supposed to teach them what to do if you know the right thing to do. Thank you.
I am in trouble in this studio today. Okay. I think I was going to take you on, but I mean, you've made a very fair assessment of why it's normal. So I'll leave it there till we get into the details. Now, I'm not going to go to anybody who thinks it's normal because this lecturer today, she's taught us what today. Now, let's quickly look at the relationships. Can any of you compare your relationship with your mothers or your parents in any of the things that have happened so far in the 3 series we've seen? Any of you who really quickly want to? You have the mic and you're nodding.
Yes, because I always tell my mom what happens in my life. She's the type that understands me. Once there was an old man, he was interested in me. I had to tell my mom. And she was like, when she comes home, she would deal with the man. But I talked to her that I can handle myself.
Hey.
I just want her to know what's going on in my life. But that doesn't mean she should react. I know how to live my life since she has taught me how to live well. So I told her that. And
I think we need another seat here. Don't you? Sylvia. We need another seat here. Let's welcome our guest again, Dr. Nana Ama Barnes, and let's go into exactly what these series have taught us so far. We know that sexual issues and reproductive health issues for mothers or parents quite tough. The mother will say, go to your father. Your father will say, go to your mother. Dodging the questions, especially when the young people come with the questions directly without any polishing of it. How sensitive is it to talk about sexual and reproductive health issues?
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'd like to say that for most young people, it's like we're curious. So at this stage, we want to know a lot of things. But unfortunately, in our system, the cultural thing is be quiet. You find out later on in life. But we never find out later in life until you are married. And probably before married, then they'll just give you 1 week counseling and then you are caught up in it. So most people aren't prepared for it. So as adolescents, what people will do is they'll go and find out for themselves. And more often than not, the wrong place. So what happens is that in our time right now, the internet is available. And when I was growing up, we didn't have the internet, so you have to go and look for a book. So what ends up is that you go and fill yourself with information, which may not be the right thing, and then end up having to do things that you're not supposed to do. So it's important for us to communicate with your parents, to communicate with children.
That actually is the bane of our problem. Why is it traditionally or culturally not acceptable, not supposed to be talked about? Why?
I think most people think that if you know the information, you're going to use it wrongly. That's how people think. It's like, I don't want to talk to my 12-year-old about sex. If she knows about sex, she's going to try it out.
We pretend they don't know. So our opening up to them will rather
cause them to
How about when they come up?
You have to do it early. At each stage, there's something that the child should know. Of course, when they are toddlers, you talk to them about their private parts, what it is. Don't let anybody touch it. Don't let anybody say it. Yes, and the changes that come. Now, if you don't start telling them this at a young age, you can't barge into their rooms when they are 13 years old and start asking them things and expect them to open up to you. Nobody, I mean, we all know that. You haven't talked to me about anything, even in my life. And all of a sudden, when I'm 13, 14 years old, you come to give me a sex talk. Most kids will not respond because we haven't had effective communication from the time we're young. So it's important that at every stage we communicate. So you have to talk about things going on in school, their friends, their teachers. That's how it starts, opening up. But if you've never, a parent, a father, gets up in the morning, goes to work, comes back late, rarely sees the kids, then one day he appears, let's talk about sex. I would run away. Seriously, because you're going to be like, you won't talk to me. It's like
suspecting you of something.
Exactly. Did he see something?
What has he heard about me? Well, you're watching the YOLO YMK Chit Chat, and as it's going, we're relating to the YOLO series and the issues that came up, the questions that we think that should be answered to open up the minds of the adolescent into proper adolescent sexual and reproductive health, so they wouldn't be messing around themselves everywhere to our disgrace as parents and as a nation and society. And the reason why Ghana Health Service finds it very expedient to bring this to us in partnership with National Population Council and Ghana Education Service with fund from UK8, facilitated by Palladium. More coming up, we have our guest in the studio in the persons of our young people who know so much, and our guest, Dr. Nanama Barnes. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
You only live your life just once, my party, or so I'm told. Make the most out
Everything side A, they go to B. Say my name again.
head back, laugh the pain away. Living a better life is the case. You gon' be handle whatever may come your way.
Hey! Hey! What is that? Read it. Come on.
Read it!
My heart missed a beat when I first saw you.
Why do you have that picture on your phone?
Yeah, come in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Charles.
Hello?
Hello. Please, I'm looking for Cyril.
I forget the rap song.
I'm walking slow.
YMK,
You must know.
YOLO.
You only live once.
Welcome back from the break. You're watching the YOLO YMK Chit Chat, and here in the studio I have been enjoying the conversation going on from the Ablade. Ablade. And these are from the Nungwa Senior High School, repping the reproductive and sexual health club in your school. Give yourself a YOLO round. All right. So, if you just join us, well, you've missed quite a lot. But of course, if you've been watching the YOLO series, you haven't. And we are proud to say that Ghana Health Service brought us this, and they are making us learn as much as we can from our sexual and reproductive health issues in partnership with Ghana Education Service and National Population Council with funds from UK8, facilitated by Palladium. And here in the studio, we have Dr. Nanama Barnes helping us understand how, as parents, we can connect with our adolescents as early as possible. Who here would admit or can tell us that you had sexual reproductive education from your parents or your guardians early in life? What age was that?
When I was at the age of 8 years, my mom used to tell me that when I sleep with a guy, though I will not get pregnant, I'm spoiling myself because my pride is my virginity. So when I got to my adolescent age, when I started with my menstruation, I told her about it. And she was like, now you are no more a kid, like the way I used to see you. There are some things that when you know you are worried about, you have to discuss it with me so that I can help you out. And when she said that to me, I was very happy because when I look at my friends, they weren't open that much to their parents. So I was very glad that my mom was able to tell me that.
But before 8, were you having occasional or frequent conversation with your mom about everything about your life?
Yeah, because whenever I come back from school, she's like, what happened? What activities took place in school? So I used to tell her about my life more.
Do you guys really like to be friends with your parents? Yeah. Really? Oh, we didn't know.
No, you know what? You should not be. Parents are not your friends. I think you have to establish that. No, because seriously, because that's when, if you are not careful, you have problems. Parents are parents. You have to be friendly, but they are not your friends.
Okay.
You get the distinction.
But is it better when they are your friends? When my mom is my friend or my dad is my friend?
No two ways about that. But they are your parents. At the end of the day,
it to be like your
exactly.
friend.
At the end of the day, they are your parents. You know, that's when the respect and other things come in. Because if you see them as your friends, oh, she won't mind if I take this thing. You know, they are still your parents. So as much as friendly, definitely, but they are still your parents, and you should have the mutual respect for them. Not be afraid of them, but to be able to be friendly and communicate effectively with them.
Okay. In your context, if you say you want your parents to be friends with you, what would you mean?
My friend here is very fortunate that her mom started out to tell her all things about what she needs to know. My mom she didn't even do that. She dared not to do that. She'd be like, I should tell you so that you go around doing all sort of things. When I used to bath with her, she'd be like, wash your something. She wouldn't really say, wash, say your vagina or something. But she'd be like, wash your something, wash your something. I didn't know that something until I went to school and my friends were just bringing out so many words, saying all the things, the strange things. I went to her and was like, Mom, this and that. She was like, hey. Then she sat me down. She was like, hey, be careful, like this and so you. For me,
I think that's a typical African mother.
Really did that. So I think the friendship should be that you tell me more. Like when I'm going wrong, you tell me more. So that when something is going wrong with me, I can come close to you and talk to you so that you can advise me.
How do you take it if they come harshly and they don't come gently to you to inform you about these things?
Well, I think it's obvious when they are harsh on you, you will definitely not go back to them and ask them anything again. But you see, it's very clear. It goes down in us when, as young people, when you the parents, you tell us from past experiences. When you tell us that, okay, when I was young, I did this, I had that, and this is the end results. This is what I had. So that's a personal experience. Is to me, in my personal view, I think is the best, because my father was the one who was always telling me, okay, when I was 10 years, I did this, I did that, and this is what I got. So I learned from the past experiences from my dad, and it's worked. So I think this is one way or the other that parents can take, and it will help all of us as young people.
Are we sure that the adage that says experience is the best teacher is not what really works with you adolescents? Even if the experience is shared with you, you still want to see it, feel it, to know whether, does it really deter you from your curious
Yes, sometimes I would say yes, because most of the questions that we approach our parents with, we know 10 times the answer to that question, but we just want to sometimes confirm or verify from our parents. So if they are harsh on us or they don't tell us the truth, we go out to friends like Drogba and we listen to their advices, and when we apply it to our lives, the results are always negative and bad to our lives. So the experiences, I think parents should share with us so that we'll make informed and right choices.
You know, every parent wants to say that they were first in class. You know, sometimes they don't want to tell you exactly what happened, you know, but it's important that they share these experiences with us.
We know that the reason why the adage experience is the best teacher is because a lot of people really want to experience what they've even been told about. And that's what has kept some parents, some guardians, and some people, irrespective of their age, to keep some information, because other people, if your eyes haven't seen and your ears haven't heard, you wouldn't dare. Anyway, so any other view about parenting?
I think it depends on what the parent says, how the parents would say it. Me in person, my mom will always tell you that the first time you have sex, it is very painful. And I don't think anybody would want to go through such pains, because the manner in which she would say it would even make you afraid of doing it. So it's not all about we being curious to find out what happens. It is just how you would say it to us that would make us go in or not go in for it. Thank you.
I want to meet your parents.
Let me take us back a bit. I will say that if your child approaches you about anything on sex, please be very frank to the child, no matter the age.
Kneeling down and proposing, what was that?
The kneeling down shows that you are very interested in her. If no one does that to you, to her before. So if you are the first person to do that, that will tell her something.
But that scared her. She said you can be friends.
You go down.
When you kneel down to her, it shows that, oh, I'm serious. I can do it. I can make it.
Serious to do what? Serious to do what?
Serious to be in love with you.
In love with you to do what?
To have sex with you.
Hey! Have you been hearing what we've been talking about? Serious to be in love. Serious to have sex. But we are saying that it is not appropriate to have sex at this age.
Yeah. As you can see, Nana Jua, for her, she told Serious that, kiss me. But because Cyril is not interested in her, the one that his heart fell for is the one that he went and knelt down for.
You think if it were Emily that had said kiss me to Cyril, he would have?
Yeah.
I think he would run away. I think you ran away.
I want that.
You only live your life just once, my party. Or so I'm told. Make the most out.
Everything side A, they go to B. Say my name again.
Head back, laugh the pain away. Living a better life is the case. You gon' be handle whatever may come your way.
Yes, whoa! Hey! Hey! What is that? Read it. Come on.
Read it! My heart missed a beat when I first saw you.
Why do you have that picture on your phone?
Yeah, come in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Charles.
Hello?
Hello. Please, I'm looking for Cyril.
I forget the rap song.
The last sentiment we shared before we went on our last break was about the consensus that, Charlie, these young men have great passions for love. And they will do all the things for love. But how do we control it is what we are talking about as parents. And the point we want to make now before we end this discussion is, let's see Enyonam, who is Cyril's mother, and Pusha, who is Cyril's runaway father. I really enjoyed myself watching that episode. And the opportunity that Enyonam is missing at getting her good boy, Fem. What she doesn't know, even though she keeps asking his friends, you are close to Cyril, what's going on? I think that's a good thing as well for a parent to do.
Yeah.
But she's not firm with her son, holding on to her. One thing I know is that the girls skew to their fathers and the boys skew to their mothers. And being a mother and having a son is an occasion she's not using. Tell us about how parents can use that occasion. And then we come to how Pusha could help, but she's still pushing him away with that opportunity.
So that's quite a dicey situation, especially when you don't have the whole family unit together and when you have mother alone and father in another environment. But you should take advantage of everything. And don't think that because, as a parent, don't think that because you went through that situation, it means that your child is going to end up being in the same situation. What happens is that you end up being so overprotective or sometimes so liberal that the kids don't seem to get the right thing. It's finding the right balance and then finding the right opportunity to do it. For her, one opportunity could have been when she noticed Cyril was doing a few things. She shouldn't have waited till the next day to go ransack his things. What she should have done was that she should have had a chat with him and not ransack or go and invade his privacy. That would have been an opportune time to find out, Cyril, what were you up to over there that day? What were you doing over there? And why were you doing it? So then that will give her an idea about how he's growing and mentally. Exactly. His decision to do it. And then you have a chat with him. And as I said, at that chat non-judgmental. Just a conversation. Listen to him. And then you'll be able to answer all his questions, and then he'll be fine.
And the part that she seemed to let her fight and her pain with her son's father's experience eats into her decisions or her talk with him. She speaks with him on a painful note that doesn't allow her to open up, unless that is the opportunity she can.
Yes, so it's a sad situation when you have that happening, because when parents are fighting, one person will definitely use it as an opportune center to toss on their anger to the child, whereas the other one may be a little too liberal and say, oh, let the boy be, and then there's no balance there.
Well, we can never end the conversation, because when it comes to this, anytime we have a birth, an adolescent is being born and grown and nurtured, and this would have to go on and on and on. But the important thing is, at a point in time, you have people who are concerned bringing issues like this on the platform for it to be talked about, so we have a better future. Before we say our final YOLOs, I know you have a lot of suggestions and contributions and still have questions, but that's why it's serial. It's still ongoing. God willing, we'll still bring you the conversation. But before we end, I'd like us to acknowledge the Director General of Ghana Health Service, Dr. Ebenezer Apia Denchira. It was nice meeting you, sir, and we thank you so much for your good heart. Dr. Patrick Kumia-Bwaji, Director, Family Health Division of Ghana Health Service, and then the Headmistress of Nungwa Senior High, Madam Cecilia Asabia Boateng, for bringing your student here. We also have the curious minds here, curious minds in the house. YOLO!
You only live once.
YMK?
You must know.
Healthy young people?
Better future.
Are you knowing or you are not knowing? Okay, hablade.
YOLO! 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 You only live once. The life we live right now, you should understand you only live once. My mama be pissed. Because it's YOLO! 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 You only live once. Because it's YOLO!
We the high, we the boost. No K, one shot for the hood. The kind of normal thing where we they do. It be the normal thing where we they do like.
Have fun,